Hey everyone, it's here Jocelyn from MLH, and we're here for another awesome stream for Beginners Week at Global Hack Week. So this stream will be focused on hackathon submission and acing like your pitch, so you can participate on your first hackathon or secure your first win in case you want. You're a bit more competitive and you want to secure your first win, then we are good to go. And also today, Bully is joining me for this special stream. So hey, Bully, how are you today?
I'm doing fine. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you, Joss, for helping me. This is my first stream. I'm having an amazing time, and I'm happy that you are helping me, Joss. So yeah, let's welcome everyone, and let's go. Yeah, that's it. Cool.
Perfect. So yeah, let's give a warm welcome to Bully as it is his first time on a stream, and he's also very used to the community of MLH. So he's kind of like an old friend of mine. We actually met on the MLH fellowship, and he was my pod leader. So now having him here is like wow, like amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. I remember when you were a fellow, it was great. And I remember that saying of the student always surpasses the master, and I came to you for help. So I think there is no one better to help me, understand and getting to know this other than you. So I'm super happy.
Oh, thank you very much. So having that on our minds, let's get started. We actually prepared a really short slides presentation for you to see like important bullet points of some things. And after covering that presentation, we will go over and see an actual pitch that I developed for some hackathons. And then we're going to see some depots example submissions of successful projects that had made it like to the top, so you can actually see like like a skeleton of how to draft your dev post page or your slides presentation where you're actually like talking to the judges and so on. So getting started, I already introduced myself a little bit. Jocelyn, I'm also a university student. I'm a sophomore here at that university in Mexico. I'm also a coach at Major League Hacking. And some fun facts about me is that I love salsa dancing. It's something really cool. And I kind of have like an obsession with Minecraft bee plushies. I have like over 3 or 4 different bee plushies on different
What?
sizes. Yeah, that's crazy. And you cannot always ask me about mechanical keyboard, robotics, or neurotech. It's something that I really love talking about. So yeah, would never like stop yapping if you ask me about those topics.
You really know about neurotech. I do know that about robotics too. Well, I'm going to present myself. My name is Charbel, but people call me Bully, so let's go with Bully. I'm a pop leader, and I'll be streaming too. Again, I'm super excited, super happy, confidently nervous, but hey, I trust you all. So yeah. Fun fact about me: I love chocolate chip and mint ice cream. People say it tastes like toothpaste. It doesn't. Like it tastes really good. But yeah, and I too study or major in robotics. And I'm a senior, so this is my last semester. Thank God. So yeah, looking forward for that big graduation. But yes,
Awesome. So we're seeing someone here saying that they have zero experience on hackathons, not offline, online and offline. So don't worry, in here we're going to explain you like the real basics about, hackathon projects. And for more experienced hackers, we're also going to give like some relevant tips that you can use when doing your different submissions according to, MLH's standards. Yeah.
yes.
So I think we're good to go to start with our content. So, firstly, I would like to start talking about what are hackathons and what can you do in there? How do you actually, enter a hackathon and so on. So, for hackers that are new to MLH's community, these are spaces, safe spaces for hackers and people all over the world that gather together to solve, a specific challenge in a time range of, 24 hours up to 48 hours. There could be like hackathons of 1 day, 2 days, or almost 3 days, which is kind of exhausting, being like the whole weekend on the same, like, venue. But it's actually pretty cool. At least for me, I think it has given me like so much opportunities, because I have, got the chance to, be in awesome places, like to collaborate, and you meet like this amazing people that I didn't even have like an idea of how big the community is until I started participating. Getting a little bit more personal, my first hackathon was when I was on my last year of high school. So yeah, I was like 17 years old when I first started, hackathons. And I remember my first hackathon was from MLH here in Mexico. And in Mexico, we don't have a lot of hackathons from MLH. So that's something that I am trying, to grow like that community in here, and in other parts too. And the experience was super cool, because I had never been in a place where you can actually, like, sleep and, code, and there's like free food, and there's like free swag, and the space is just like pretty cool. And after the end of that hackathon, I was just like, okay, I need to continue like participating on more, because this experience is like super cool, and I want to, actually know like what the community is and what can I do like inside of there. So I continue participating. I think in university was when I got into more hackathons. Right now, I need to have a count of how many I have been to, but I know that I have won over 12 different hackathons. Not all of them are from MLH, but most of them are, because MLH is like a big, global community for hackathon organizing events, and, things like Global Hack Week and so on. And something that I like to say to people, like when they are not very secure about, entering a hackathon, because I have many friends that, see me participating, and they ask me like, oh, but you are very experienced now, and you are like super pro and things like that. But I didn't start it like being super pro. Like my first hackathon, we didn't even finish like the application, and it was just like a Google Slides presentation with an iPhone demo. It was very bad, and I mean, it was a good experience. I have been learning a lot from that. And something that I always say to people is like, don't be scared to sign up for a hackathon just because you don't know, technical stuff. If you like team up with friends, or like start networking inside the event, you will realize that not all of the people who are there are like super experienced. Most of them are like beginner hackers, or people who are just interested about like the community, and it can be really fun. Like hackathons is not only about the competition. Like you have like the mini games, or like special events that the hackathon organizers make for you, and it's pretty cool. Like you can even like end up, playing games and talking to incredible people. And lastly, I would like to add that after you finish like your hackathon, like, after the project submission ends, it's really awesome that you literally build like a startup idea, because you have like 24 to 36 hours to work with like your team on a project that solves like a specific challenge. And when you actually finish like that project on like 2 or 3 days, or even 1 day, when you finish, you literally say like, oh my god, like I can make this project like a startup idea. And I have seen some friends that actually do that. Like they go to a hackathon, they like hard code, and they get like in a really like intense mode during the weekend, and then after that they literally build a startup from scratch using like the project that they made on the hackathon. And that's something really cool, because you literally make it in like 2 days. So that's really nice. Great.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I probably will echo something that you mentioned, and it's
Mhm.
that if you go into a hackathon, because I see people that have no experience, don't like your main thing doesn't have to be winning. Like, I'm not saying you're not gonna win. I'm just saying have fun. Like, enjoy the whole experience of going into a hackathon, either it be online or offline, because online has its own challenges too. So definitely do give it a try. Don't get scared, or don't just let that, we call it the imposter syndrome, get to you. Just go with friends, have fun. If you won, great. If you didn't, it's totally fine too. There are way more hackathons to go, and yeah, you can just start your hackathon career there, such a just. But yeah, cool. Just go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, someone commented like collaboration. It's like super big compared to winning, because you cannot
Yes.
win if you don't collaborate. Like, I know they are like solo hackers who want to do like everything for themselves, but sometimes that's not very great because you don't get to meet like a lot of people, and at the end, like all of your like professional career or where you work at, or even if you build like your own company, you will have to collaborate with people. So hackathons are like this huge space that you have to actually collaborate with people and simulate like this professional space that you will actually be into. And I just added like some different pictures of my, I wouldn't say career, but it is kind of like a career in hackathons because I have been to so many. And being here where I live didn't stop me like to travel, especially to the United States where most of the hackathons are hosted. And I just sometimes I travel with people I know, like like my dream team, for example. But that is not always what I do, because then I don't meet like new people. So something that I always like to do is like to just network through the Discord of the hackathon, and type like, hey, does anyone like is looking for a team of 2 people or 3 people, like, and you get to meet a lot of awesome friends on the way. But yeah, now I think Bolly has some tips for you. And as for the pitching and video demo submission, so you want to go ahead, Bolly, and give our hackers these amazing tips.
Yeah, let's go. So, the first things first is that either you go just to have fun, just to meet people, you have one task and you have to solve that problem. So you get the challenge, you get the problem, you have 24, 36 hours to do it, probably 2, 3 days. So everyone will solve the problem. Everyone will have their style with the problem, but everyone will have a solution, or most of the people. What makes the difference when it comes to submitting, or just actually winning? And it's kind of, you have to see it like you're selling your, as just mentioned before, it's kind of like a little startup that you have there. It's a product that solves something, and in 3 to 5 minutes, you have to make the judges love it. So either it be in a dev post, either it be live or in a video, you have to make sure that the pitch is great. So you have 3 to 5 minutes to make people love what you did. Um, and you don't have to be nervous, and I'll explain why and some tips. But the first thing is, it's you who did the project. It's you who works on that project, and no one knows about that project more than you. So, super confident. You have to be, you know what you're doing, you know what you did. So just explain it to everyone. So again, usually lasts within 3 to 5 minutes. So let's break down 3 minutes. Okay, how does that look? So first things first is introduction. Okay, so you introduce your team, 15 seconds. Hey, this is Wooly, this is Joss. It takes 15 seconds, and then you just remind everyone what the problem was. Because probably you're just too focused on the product that you forget why the product exists, and that to solve the challenge or the problem. Okay, so that's, you just want to remind everyone, hey, this is what we wanted to solve. Let them know what you solved, and then just talk about what you did, which is a product. You get 1 minute. Okay, don't overwhelm with details. Okay, this is something very common. You worked with it, you know the details. You kind of don't want them to know the details in those 3 to 5 minutes, just because it's not that important. Okay, As simple as that. You just want to make sure that they know what your product does, how it solves the whole thing, and everything that the project can do. Basically, like it's magical. Just make sure they know it's magical. Okay. Um, After that, sometimes a demo is like demo can vary between how the project is. Sometimes it's either something a hardware or a software or purely visual. Okay. Make sure that they see what you did. If it works in some way, if it's mechanically software hardware, just make sure just make sure, yeah, we have to create a business point of view, definitely. Like if you have that, let's call it a CEO mentality of, hey, this is my project. I just want to show you what it is, then you win because everyone in the end solved the problem in various ways. You want to make sure that yours stands out from the rest. So you demo, you show how the project works. It's if it's either a video, you just share your screen. If it's live, you have to do it in front of the people. And I'll give you some tips in a bit about how to talk in public. But yeah, and probably wrapping up, which should be taking roughly 30 seconds, is basically just thanking everyone. Close the pitching with a strong quote. Okay, close it with some remarks. Close it with something that the judges, that the people will remember. So when it comes to grading, it's like, hey, who did it better? They remembered, hey, I loved that end quote. Let's just go with that one just because it was really good. Okay. So that's how it's structured. Like 3 minutes should be structured. Okay. Now, everyone, and I get it, public speaking is not that easy. Like, I'm not sure about you, Josh. When I first started public speaking, either it be in a live stream with people that you can see the people, it's not that easy. You gotta have to get used to it. Okay. And I mean it because I think problems in life, you have to make sure that you know how to public speak. Because in the end, if you know how to public speak, then you just lose that nervousness. Okay, even me, that I've been public speaking for a lot of time, I'm nervous now. So, it's normal to feel nervous, but at the same time, you gotta make sure that um, you are used to it. Okay, so first things first, make up a story. Okay, everyone remembers a good story. So when you're showing your project, when you're doing that pitch, um, just to make sure to add a story to it and make it sound better. Okay, adding a story adds impact. Okay, um, we have now two. The first one is so we have to sell come to bald person. Um, you have to sell basically a come to bald person. Yes, it's not that your project wouldn't work for that problem. Just you have to make sure that it's the comp that fits that baldness. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
you have a lot of comps. How would you get the perfect comp for someone who's bald? Hey, a shiny one. Every comp does the same thing. You just gotta make sure that you get a comp that's really cool. Okay, um, if you record a video and you get nervous, just make sure to look at the camera because the camera is the point that everyone will look at. Um, Share your screen, okay? If you want to have pre-recorded or like pre-written cards on the screen, that's okay. And you just have to talk. You can look at yourself, just record yourself by looking at yourself, and that should do it. Okay. Um, if you speak live, then this is a little bit different and a little bit more difficult. But here's the trick: just don't look at anyone, but at the same time, look at everyone. So let's say you have a lot of people. Okay, just look in the middle where no one is, and just be there. Okay, just look there. Don't look anywhere else, and you'll be fine. Okay, I know I've been there. The first times were really bad, but you get used to it. Okay. Um, so focus your attention, and whatever you do, just remember you did that project. It's your project. It's your solution to that problem, to that challenge. You had fun. You know, 3 to 5 minutes. Just make sure it has a lot of impact. Okay, that's what I'll leave this with. Just make sure that what you did has a lot of impact. Add a story to it. Make it sound great because I'm guessing and I know that your project is great. But yeah, I think that's like the tips for the pitch. So
Awesome.
just yes.
Yeah, I mean, like you literally describe what I do, and we didn't even like spoke about this earlier. Like I didn't even look like about the tips that you were going to give. And when I was hearing them, I was like, okay, you make those steps to draft my pitch, and to actually sell them like to the judges when they come like to my stand and ask me questions about my project. And it's a very solid strategy to follow, because at the end, as you mentioned, everyone is like solving the same thing because we have the same challenge, and we are focusing on the same sponsor or on the same track that we are participating into. But the pitch and those 2 to 3 minutes that they give you to present your project are like super valuable. Because perhaps I can say like, oh, okay, I'm going to explain like a lot of technical stuff, and I'm going to really dive deep into my project, but maybe my judge won't understand what I'm talking about for various reasons. Like perhaps he or she is not like a technical expert on the topic. Maybe like he or she is a teacher, or maybe he or she is like someone not related to the community, so they don't really know like what you're talking about. So you really want to make sure like when you pitch your project, you actually make it to our various range of people who will watch or hear what you say. And sometimes like you want to be like engaging, maybe some people like are more visual, or some people are more like of hearing, or maybe some people are about having conversations. So maybe you want to support your pitch, with someone speaking while having like like a slides presentation, or like a video that is on loop, like on your stand. Or maybe if you have like a demo on your phone, you can show like the demo to the judge while he or she is like hearing you on what you're saying. So yeah, I think these are really helpful tips. I hope some of you actually wrote some of them down because they are very helpful. And I see like no fault on this strategy. Like when I always go to hackathons, I say to my team, okay, I'm going to give you like the secret recipe so we can win this hackathon. And Bully here is literally giving you like the secret recipe to win and participate on your first hackathon. So yeah, like feel free,
Definitely.
yeah.
Cool. I just want to share a little story with everyone. I just remembered it. It was like 6 7 years ago. We had like each group, like it's like a competition. And I remember first graders in high school had to present like a chemistry project. Second graders had to present physics project, and third graders had to present, not sure, I think it was like whatever you wanted. Um, and I remember that my project wasn't, as good as others, but I remember that I told my team, hey, focus team, let's do this. And I think we sold it pretty good that we won, like from the three different years, we won the first place. So this goes to show that, and I guess like what someone said here, like have to, you have to know how to sell a calm to a bald person. Um, your project works, just make it shine a little bit more with words. And if something doesn't work, make sure to say it, but at the same time, in a smart way, so that it's not like an incomplete project, but rather it's like a futuristic work. But this is my project. So yeah, definitely. I hope that this helps. Um, in the end, just make sure to have fun. Okay, I think that's the main idea of a hackathon. is to have fun. If you're not having fun, I gotta tell you, I don't think anything will work because you don't have that fun energy. You're not having fun. You just want to get out of there. So it won't work. Just make sure to have fun, and everything by itself will work. Okay?
Yeah, that's so true. Like even if you don't know like the people that you are like on the team, because sometimes like it has happened to me that I have been to hackathons when I literally don't know anyone. And when you are with your team, like you will see that on the course of like 24 hours, you are going to bond with them. Like it's impossible for you like not to bond if you are like stuck with them like 24 hours. So you get to make like these awesome friends and also like have fun, because in the late night hours, like at 2 a.m. where nothing is working and you are like all stressed
Yeah.
out, like that's a real bonding time.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. When you get mad at someone just because it didn't work, and in the end, you just bonded because you just start laughing, and it's late at night, and you have like 4 hours for the project to work. Then that's where everything like kind of just makes sense. Yeah, yeah, cool. That's a great one. Curious and fun makes you complex dev, a complete dev. Yeah, that's great. In the end, again, if you don't have fun, then the energy won't be there and you will just not love it. You have to love what you do, okay? So, but yeah, I think that's for public speaking, that's for the pitch. Remember, just sell your project. Everyone solved the problem. You gotta make sure to sell your solution because there are other solutions that could work even better or probably worse. But hey, you gotta make sure that it sounds better than all of those, okay?
Yeah, definitely, fully. So now that we gave you like this general tips, on video and like public speaking for your demo, we're going to look at a pitch example from a previous submission that I made. This pitch submission is kind of special for me because it was my first like international hackathon, so that meant that I had to travel to assist this event, and it was shell hacks, which so yeah. um so right now I didn't actually like made this like a template presentation, but I will totally feel free to share this with you later on the chat, because I really liked this speech that we draft with my team, and I gotta say that I received like plenty of help of one of my team members that was there, and he was like very, you know, he was giving us like very specific tips on making our presentation not such like a hackathon presentation, but more of like like a business presentation, like actually adding on what is our product, and presenting like our project as a product. So yeah. So the first thing is like the name of the project is called Emergency Act. You can also search it like on GitHub and on that post to see like more details about it. Right now, I'm not going to pitch to you. I'm just going to explain like the different sections that are like good to have on your slide deck when you are like presenting, and you are expected to complete like this presentation in a range of like 2 to 3 minutes, because that's like the average that they give at hackathon, depending on the organizers. And so yeah, we included like a general title on what we do, like our general objective, in case like they want to read on. And on the first slide, we always focus on having like the problem, like what is the problem we are trying to solve. And we usually include like a huge metric, like numbers, and also like the citation of where we obtained that. And in this example, we were trying to solve a public transport problem. So we mentioned like what is the risk when someone takes like a public transport, therefore like to improve mobility. So this pitch is totally focused on improving public transportation, and preventing accidents inside the public transportation. So it's like a super specific problem, and we laid it out in here, and we actually explained that to the judges. So they have like a, as Bully mentioned, like always like state the problem that you're going to solve before you actually pitch your project. Because if you just start like pitching, they won't have an idea like of what you're talking about if they are like someone external to the hackathon. So yeah. And then after that, this is not something that I always do on every hackathon, but because we had like 3 minute pitch, I actually included this slide. And this one is to compare like what you're building with other people's products that are currently like on the market. So for my case, we researched about like other, detectors that are out there, like to detect when someone falls down to the ground. So we found like different like full detectors and cameras, and you just explain like, oh, so there is actually competition to our product, and this is like the competition. And then after presenting the competition to your product, then you want to compare yourself to those other products that are like out there. So for our case, we laid it down as like value propositions, and we wrote down really easy, like just bullet points, like others, and then like our solution and how it compares like, with other products. And this is like the intro slides for your product. So at this point, your judge should know like what problem are you solving, what will your product focus on, but he or she still doesn't know like the product that you're actually selling. Like you haven't told them like what your project is actually about. So now on the next slide, you're going to explain like the different technologies that you use to build your project. And hear me out. These technologies are not like very specific ones. Like you don't want to tell them like, oh, we use GitHub, we use Streamlit, we use like MongoDB. No. In this slide, you want to explain like, general branches of technology. For example, computer vision, generative AI, a dynamic dashboard. Like buzzwords that would actually stick around while you are talking like during the pitch. Because at this point, your judge will know like, okay, this team uses computer vision, they also use Gen AI, and they built a dynamic dashboard. So that's like a pre-introduction to what you want to do. Really want to know the pitch, how to give the presentation. I mean, if we have like 2 to 3 minutes left, I can pitch it if the chat wants. But let's see. We have time for that.
Chat, let's hear it from you. Do you want to listen? Just give the pitch. Let's just count the people who want to listen to you, and I'm pretty sure it'll be a lot. So yes, there we have a
There's
first yes.
one. If we get to 5, yes. Okay, I think everyone wants to.
You got a three yes there. There's a four, there's a five, there's a six. Yeah, you gotta do it. You have to do it, just.
Okay, I have to do it. Okay, I can do it. I can do it. Let me go to my slide deck. Let's see. This was like I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago. This hack. Yeah. Okay, computer vision. Oh, this was a cool project. Now I'm remembering. Okay, this was very cool. Oh, these are my team members. So before I actually pitch, like this is not just my work. Like this was the work of these four amazing people. So yeah. Cheers to them. Okay, so I will try to give it in like 2 to 3 minutes. I hope I don't like overstep on time, because something that I always do, like when actually giving a pitch, is that I don't learn like in a specific script, but I rather like practice a lot. Even if like I change things while I'm speaking, like I just put a timer and go over the slides just like talking and seeing like what are the things that I'm going to say. So right now I'm going to do some impro as I don't remember what I said on that time. Perfect. So are we good to go? I will start
We're
my
good to go. We're good to go. Everyone's ready. So, Joss, let's hear it from you.
Now I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
Now I'm not nervous. Well, that's funny.
Okay, so let's go. Hey everyone, so we're Emergency Act and we are here to present our value proposition that is to create an aware and safer world for all. How are we going to do this? Where we're going to improve mobility on public spaces, open areas and school buildings. Everything of this is super important. And do you know that approximately 47% of bus accidents result in injuries? And that is just like super sad. And this usually happens like when there are like student stops, or for example, like older adults that take like the public transportation, they are more susceptible to fall down during public transportation. And these accidents often make our transport get delayed because there was an accident. So we actually want to make the safety of public transport users much more important. So we actually made a research with our team about what products to prevent these types of falls exist on the market. So to prevent falls, there are like these fall detectors that old people wear like as a keychain, and that's like kind of helpful. And there are also like cameras that work through computer vision to detect when someone falls down. But what really makes us different? So compared to others, we actually gather like social safety because we're not only focusing on the safety of one people, we are rather focusing on the safety of our society on public transportation. We also want to make infrastructure improvement because this will be an open project that will be placed on our public transportation. So we will actually be improving infrastructure. And we are very scalable and highly adaptive. So on our product, we basically, focus on computer vision. We also use Gen AI, and we also build an amazing dynamic dashboard. So our objective, specifically, is to combine computer vision with AI techniques to provide valuable metrics about accidents. So we actually want to prevent when people fall down. Great. So for the computer vision steps, we want to make mobility safer. We also want to gather like different points on different loopholes on the infrastructure of our public transportation. Therefore, we will help people to get emergency aid on time as we can prevent it, and we can actually diagnose when a person has fallen down to the ground. As for the Gen AI features, we created a chat to get answers about a specific accident scenario. So, for example, through images, we can actually detect when someone has fallen down and, gather some metrics about the person's posture. We also get like automation of AI prompt message sent to authorities. So when the person actually falls down, this sends a trigger, which sends a message to the authorities that are in charge of the public transportation so help can be there on time. And then after that, we use a camera placed on the public transportation so we can actually estimate where the person is located and where the bus is actually at. So this would help us make our emergency act much more faster and instantaneous. So, as talking about an hour dashboard, as you can see on our iPads on display here, feel free to take one and start demoing our project. We have a image upload feature where you actually get to upload images where the emergency occurred, and our algorithm will detect what happened on the emergency. And then, if you have more questions about the accident, you can establish a conversation with one of our AI agents, and this will assist you on what the emergency happened and, ask like more context about this. So, yeah, like you upload the image, and then in this set of images, we are seeing a person falling. And after that, you get insights on what actually, happened, and you can chat like about the scenario. And as for the person and camera location, we have different cameras located on the different buses and public lines. And when you actually connect to our camera interface, you will see like different pinpoints on your map location. And using a bounding box, we can actually estimate the location and estimate from the person to the camera. And we also integrated an LLM to find the relation between both locations so we can have like a more, direct estimate on where the accident happened. Lastly, once we have all of this info that we know that an accident happened, there is an LLM automated prompt that is sent to authorities to text message, as you can see on our phone message. So we have different classifications. For example, when someone falls down or where someone is like promptly to fall down, and this message is automatically sent to authorities. So now talking a bit more specifics about how to detect a fall, where we basically implemented post estimation using a machine learning algorithm. These are the models that we use, and as you can see, our friend here is simulating as he is falling down, and we can see that the bounding box is red, meaning that in that case, a message will be sent to the authorities that my friend here has fallen. And this is actually super helpful. And we tested our model with different videos that are out there. For example, this video we found on the internet where a person on a wheelchair is falling down, and you can see that the bounding box like gets into red when it's on the ground, detecting the fall. And on this case, our algorithm like handles very complex environments where you can see like a lot of people on the same space, using occlusions. This is our tech stack, so you can actually see what we use. So all of our interface connect with Streamlit. Then we have our video input, which is connected through a fast API pipeline. And then we use our NVIDIA graphics with the help of OpenCV to run our models. As for the other side, we actually store all of our information in a MongoDB database, and we use LLMs from OpenAI. As for the computer vision, we start our video, we get the object detection of the person, and then we get the pose estimation and the key points to know what is the estimation of the person. Then we extract the features and run it into our model to detect if the fall has happened. So yeah, now talking a little bit more about how is the status of the market right now. So we estimate that the market is actually pretty good, covering up to 50 billion persons that will actually be, disposed to buy our product. And these are our costs. As you can see, they are pretty accessible, as we will only need like a low quality camera. We also need our processor and technical maintenance for 1 year, which is adds up to $260. So yeah, that's everything from us. This is our awesome team, and thanks for hearing, and feel free to watch the demo in case that you want. Yeah.
I think that was awesome. I think that was awesome. Clapping here, great. I loved it. I loved it. Chad, did you love it? I'm pretty sure you did. Um,
God.
Yeah, it was great. Like you mentioned how your project was different. Um, I think you have a slide there which is like a pros and cons or like differences between other products in yours. So yeah, that was really good. That was really good. And impressed. Like this is a very, very, very complex project. At the same time, it's great. Like four people did this. Wow, I'm amazed. Like congratulations.
Yeah, this is a lot. Like it was a cool project. It was to detect like when people on public transports like fall down, to improve like the flow of cars, and also like send alerts. And this was a project that we pitched to Waymo, so the company that focuses on autonomous like cars, and they wanted to improve like mobility. Therefore we proposed like this solution, and we got first place on the sponsorship.
Wow.
So yeah, it
Congratulations.
was a cool win. Yeah.
Nice, very nice. Yeah, I can see the chat there. Someone says I'm sold. Awesome, clapping. Yeah, clapping. Um, it's
Yeah, that's
great.
great.
Cool. Okay, so I think we can go into the depots that he used. Does that
Yeah,
sound
yeah,
good?
yeah. You will go ahead and present. Oh, yeah, you're going to present the Emergency Act one. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Cool. So I'll add this then. Um, nice. Let's see if it's on. There we go. Cool. So now, everyone, let's take a look at the death post. It's Joss's death post, that first place death post. So let's see how to actually ride one of these and how to win. Let's take a look at it as or with a judge point of view. Okay, so I kind of want you to see key points. Okay, don't take a look at every single detail. Take a look at the key points and how Joss's team managed to divide all of those key points so that it sounded better. Okay, so firstly, first we can see a video here. You can click on it or you can skip it. It's up to you. Some judges, because they just to read a lot of these dev posts, they just skip or watch the video. But giving the freedom, that's really good. Inspiration, we have this, as I mentioned, the why. Like, why are we doing this? What's the problem? Here we have a little bit of how the problem works, what it does. So here we go into the key point of we know what we're working on. Now let's see how we do it. So here's the what it does. Here's what Joss explained. Um, we can see the OpenCV, the technologies here, MongoDB, architectures here and there. Now, how we build it. Okay, so you can see that Joss talked us through everything. She didn't take that much time. Like it was pretty fast and didn't go into deep details, so it wasn't overwhelming. But with the dev post, you can take your time and read every single thing so that you can have the idea of what's happening. This is really important. The challenges we ran into. People, judges love to hear what was difficult because everything can go perfect on a post, but not in real life. So, as a judge, as someone that you are going to invest in the project or probably just give them the win, you kind of want to see what they ran into. Like, hey, everything didn't go as perfect as it sounds. What happened? Let us know. And here we can see could not access external computer power,
Oh
hosting our own API. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure you remember that. That should have been a
yeah.
horrible part. Hosting your own API to make it internal requesting between services. So you can see that every single project, even first places, have their own challenges. So having challenges is not bad, but do show them. Don't show them on the pitch though. Show them in the dev post, in the details. Okay. Now you can see challenges. It's a simple, a little bit boring template. We can see here the accomplishments. Why do you use emojis? It's all visual. You want to make sure the attention is on the accomplishments. So object detection, pose estimation, privacy, and you can see, you can even, don't read this, you can know it by the little icon here, generative AI tools and something that is written with emojis so that it's appealing to the eye. What we learned, that's also very important. It shows that the team had a growth in 24, 48, or 72 hours. I don't know how long this hackathon lasted. Joss, do you
It was
remember?
48.
Two
No,
days straight working on this.
36. 36. I'm sorry,
Okay,
36.
cool, cool, cool. 2 days and a half, which is no, I'm sorry, it's 3 days, right? Yeah, 3 days
Yeah, roughly.
working on. Someone was sleeping when the other was working. I do know that. And you can see here we have a lot of different things that shows us how the team actually grew, and that's really important. And that's us, or that's them, basically. You know, let's not keep it as technical as it, as lots of dev posts. Let's just make it a little bit more fun and you know they wrote about themselves. What next for Emergency Act? This is important. What are the next steps? It's not just the project that will stay there forever. You can work on it. And here they explain how or what's next for that project. Some notes and probably very important stuff, sources. Okay. I'm pretty sure that some of the technologies that they used were pre-built, pre-trained. That's okay. It's not that you cannot do that. It would take you probably weeks to train something. So, if you fine tune something, just make sure to add special thanks to whoever trained that model for 1 week, 2 week to make sure that it works for your project. But yeah, this just looks incredible, Josh. I don't know, like first place deserved. Congratulations. I'm really happy. But yeah, we are in the final minutes. Josh, I'll leave it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, sources are always important. Yeah, so right now I'm going to show you everyone another example of a dev post, and something that we actually forgot is to also share with you some examples of GitHub repos, as judges sometimes actually go through your code and your repository, so it's very important to also have like that in mind. So I know we're running a little bit late in time, but that doesn't matter because there's not another stream schedule, so we can get like another 10 extra minutes so we can finish like super good. Yeah.
Cool. I think, Joss, I don't want to interrupt you here. I just here it says someone asked, "What about the link to the first presentation?" I think you said that you were going to make it as a template and send it later.
Yeah, I send over different resources, so I share like my actual pitch. I don't mind you making a copy of that pitch and filling out with your own info. That's super cool with me. I also shared with you the presentation that Bully and me prepared, which is a slides deck,
Mhm.
and I also sent the post links of the examples that we are going through right now. So that's pretty much all of the resources we're using. Great. So I'm going to go real quick on the structure of this one. This was Step Watch, and it was for Hack Harvard. Hack Harvard. In there, my team won the Smart City Track prize. So it was also another win over there. And we included like our demo. Like there was there was a project focused on detecting like shoplifting activity inside a store. So in here we are literally faking like if this was the guy who is like robbing the store, and then we actually like you know show our dashboard and like what we can do. So we also use like computer vision skills in here, and you can upload like your video and hit the text like shoplifting activity like after the video is like going on. Yeah, and you can also ask like specific questions. You can like message through WhatsApp, and you can generate like different statistics depending like on time and if the activity was like suspicious, normal, or dangerous. And you can also map like the store and get heat maps on what is like the most propense area of your store where shoplifters usually shoplift. And yeah, you can see like here the activity, and it actually detects like the face of the person who shoplifts and sends it like through SMS message to the police like department from the store. And you also get insights about what the person was wearing and like what was the suspicious behavior. So yeah, this is kind of like the summary of the project, which is like use computer vision to detect shoplifting in real time, notifying shop owners of suspicious activity, identifying culprits, and providing insights like hotspot heat maps and detailed reports. And the structure in here is that you always want to have a video demo because sometimes people are just too lazy like to read all of the info, and this might look like a lot of text to most people. So maybe I just want to see like the video, and that's like good to go. So yeah, in the beginning, I always like to include like some statistics and some numbers about how big is the problem that we're trying to solve. Then I include something very specific to the track. So in my case, I was participating on the smart city track. So we included like what smart cities have, like for example, surveillance camera and analytics from data. So yeah, that goes like very very in the pair of our track. Then we included like different pictures, like for example of the setup of our cameras and where we actually tested. We actually tested like on the MLH stand, like someone was pretending like to put stickers like on their pockets, and that was detected like as shoplifting. And then we explained like the setup of our like pretended store that was like our workspace, and you can see us here like just chilling on our workspace. And we also included like the different graphs that our dashboard can generate, like for example if the activity was like normal, dangerous, or suspicious. This is something very specific to my project, I know. But what would I recommend in here is that you want to include images. You want to include like visuals to the people who is like reading your dev post. Because sometimes if if all my info is just like this, even if it has emojis which actually make it look nicer, they will probably just scroll down and really fast in like 2 to 3 minutes and see like the images and see, okay, this looks like cool, like, oh, this looks like a graph, this is another graph, it looks cool. And once you get their attention, they will read your article. So yeah, always include visuals, the accomplishment, challenges. And something that I have been implementing on my latest hackathons is that you want to talk about what your project does, like not like to generate money, but like for the community. So on my case, we selected like the SDG 11 and 9 that focuses on sustainable cities, communities, and industry innovation. So this actually gives it like a more specific approach on why our project will be very helpful for the smart cities, to foster like development communities. And yeah, and then always include like the links, helpful links. In my case, I will go over through the GitHub repo so we can see like some really fast recommendations. And let me share this other link on the chat with you in case you want to visit the DevPost project. So this is a GitHub. I will also share with you in a sec. As for the code, I'm not going to go very specific on this because that's totally up to you on how you organize, your folder structure. That's totally general. Um, but you always want to include like, a description in here and the topics that your project is about. And in case you have like a demo link, include it on the description. Then after that, you always want to have a README, because if you don't have a README, then whoever random enters your repo, they won't understand like what this is about. Like, okay, I know this is about computer vision and shoplifting, but what else? Like, I don't actually want to go through the code. I just want like something fast to read. So you include like a short readme. Usually what I do is that I copy paste like the things that I wrote down like over here, like important things. For example, the features, I just copy paste them as you can see like over here and place like our features. Then I include like the YouTube demo as a link, and then general installation tips for the repo in general. But yeah, I will also share this video in case you want to see the GitHub repo. But yeah, I don't know if you have any more comments, Polly, about the post tips.
I guess as we mentioned with the pitch, make sure it stands out. Like as you did, share some interesting images. Definitely share some insights, some numbers. Numbers are really important. Just because okay, it works, okay, but how do you know or how does it work or how much time or percentage money, it all goes down to numbers. So definitely adding numbers, adding that video, adding those images, it's super helpful. So yeah, congratulations. There's a reason that you won. So yeah, it was amazing. Someone said in the previous Git lesson, you were told to exclude a README in order to reduce the list of conflict. So how can we avoid the conflicts with this in the README? Oh, cool. Just want to cover that, or should I go with that?
Yeah, I mean, do you mean like when different persons like upload the README file? So I usually configure the README like directly from my GitHub repo. Like I don't actually, when you are like cloning your repo and you pass it on, like for example, VS Code, I don't actually do the README on my VS Code. Like I just go over to the GitHub and click like on the edit link and just upload it over there, and that will like automatically push into. And when you're working like with your hackathon like a teammates, you might want to say like, hey, I will be editing like the readme, and usually one person is the one that takes that task like to work on the readme. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I kind of know. I kind of wanna say a little bit more about that, and it's because probably the question, or they're asking, how would you get not conflicts? Like if you change it on GitHub and you have another version in your computer, and it's because usually, as Josh mentioned, you or I kind of love doing the same, and it's just working on the README directly in GitHub. But you have a file that's called a dot gitignore. Okay,
Mhm.
a dot gitignore is a file that GitHub reads, and every file or every folder that's written inside of that gitignore file will be ignored. For example, I just want to push some changes from my local computer to my GitHub. Okay, if I have sometimes when you're working with Python, you're working with virtual environments, you kind of don't want to push that virtual environment there just because it has a lot of things. So you add a .ignore file and you just put the .env folder there. Whenever you push, the .env will be ignored. Okay, same thing with the README. README will be ignored. So the only or like the tip that we're giving you is that the only way or the only place that you should be working on um, your README is on GitHub. So ignore that in the dot get ignored, and you should be fine with that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think someone here gave us some context on what happened on the last session, that Ryan probably like created like a local copy, and Ryan already had like another one on their on his GitHub repo. So that probably was like the, the confusion in there.
Yeah,
But yeah,
cool.
so as for final thoughts, we want to leave you with this different bullet points. I'm going to share this link on the chat too. Like, where can I find hackathons? MLH has plenty of hackathons that you can sign up to, both digitally and on person. So I'm going to share that link with you in a sec. And I don't know if you want to go through the other tips.
Okay, cool. I see someone here asking, Josh, could you possibly show us your pitch for your first ever hackathon?
Yeah, I mean, I can search it where Billy is like finishing up our
Cool,
final thoughts. Yeah, definitely.
cool, cool. Okay, so definitely. Final thoughts is don't be afraid meeting new people. Meeting new people is great. Okay. Meeting new people is something that I really enjoy. Okay. Just because every single person is so different and so fun that whenever you meet people on a hackathon, as Josh mentioned, you can go either with your dream team or solo with the people that you just, kind of knew on Discord. And hey, you meet them and it's pretty cool. So don't be afraid to meet new people. That's something that you should be also for life, not only for hackathons, but I guess for life, you should be open to meeting new people. Okay. Um, a Discord message on the hackathon server can make a difference. Yes, if you're looking for a team, hey, is there a team for, I don't know, May's Harvard's hackathon? I'm pretty sure that's how Joss did it. Just it's as simple as that. And you can just meet new people either or ask questions or asking for help like, hey, I'm just stuck with this, does someone know how to fix this or something, or probably something a little bit more complex, you can ask on a Discord server, and it should make a big difference there. um, Definitely share your profile with others. You might find some awesome friends or collaborators. Yes, share your LinkedIn, okay, GitHub. That's something that you should do. If it's someone that you see fit and that you kind of want to make friends with, share Instagram or your other personal socials. That'd be great. Definitely share socials when you meet new people, just because if not, then you'll just lose the contact forever. So make sure to have you to grow your network, and that should help you a lot. If other hackathons arise and you kind of want to go and just have fun, you can contact them, and I'm pretty sure they'll be open to go with you. um, but yeah, I can see that you shared here.
Mhm.
Okay, here it says, I know HTML, CSS, Tailwind, and currently learning JavaScript. Really cool. And in the next 2 months, we're going to learn React Node and Mongo. Okay, I like the front end. Dev. Okay, I like front end. Dev, is it enough tech for hackathons? For sure, for sure. Um, when you're in a hackathon, you have to present the project. Okay. And as we mentioned before, visuals. So I'm pretty sure that the front end part should be really important. Okay, front end part is really important, back end part is really important. That's why you go with a team. So it's not that you go solo and I'll do everything. It's I trust my team on doing the other stuff. I'll go with front end. Don't you agree, Joss?
Yeah, yeah, always like talk to your team beforehand, like working. That is actually something I forgot to mention, that I don't usually like plan everything like on the hackathon. Like you are not allowed to work on code, but you are allowed, to have an idea of what to do, or like on what you will be working. So, always get before have like a meeting or like a chat group where you can talk to your team and know like what skill background they have, so you can actually divide and conquer like the different things that will be needed
Definitely.
for your project to be awesome. So we have another question here. How your profile picture and presentation of school, how did I create it? If you mean the one that is like a cartoon, that's the one that we get created once we enter as MLH coaches, which is pretty cool. I like it. Yeah, it's very funny. Okay, thank you. So, okay, alguien que habla español.
That's cool.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing. How to find team member in online space if we want to attend future MLH digital hackathons? Okay, that's a pretty good questions. So all of MLH hackathons, organizers want to have like a digital platform where hackers can communicate with each other, and also where MLH sends like updates on events, and the organizer sends like workshop schedules and all of that. So when you sign up to your hackathon, you will be added, or you will be asked to be added to a Discord server. So inside the Discord, you will usually find channels like random, or like team formation, or like introduction. And in there, you want to create like like an introductory message, like, "Hey, I'm Jocelyn. I currently focus on this and this and this, and I'm looking for people who are willing to create a project on this and this and this." So that's usually how I do it. Like just send a message like over on the server, and see like what DMs I'm getting, like people that I can work with. But yeah, I think we are ready to wrap up, Bolly. Yeah.
Yes, I think we are.
Yeah, so thank you very much for joining us on this short session about acing your hackathon submission. And we hope to see you all on different hackathons, all over the world, even if they are digital, if they're in person. We are there, and you can always ask questions about it. And there's like whole of online content from MLH about hackathons, so you are definitely not alone on that side.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be sending my GitHub on Discord. But yeah, we'll just wrap up. I'll be sending it just after the stream. But yeah, thank you, Joss. You had a lot of patience with me. This was the first stream, first of a lot. So I hope that I see all of you or most of you shortly. And yeah, have a nice one, and we'll be seeing you soon. And good luck with hacks. Don't forget, pitch is really, really important. Okay.
Bye, everyone. See you.
Bye bye. See you.